Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and today we're talking winter sourcing.
Mountain Man Treasures.
Yeah, that's what it looks like outside right now. It's actually warmer. It was like 3 degrees when I dropped off the mail today. When I went to work for 3 days in a row last week, I left the house at 9 below. It was 27 below with wind chill just the other day. It is cold. It is snowing, more snow on the way. And I know you don't all live in Montana, you don't all live in the north, but even some of, farther down south, some of those states, things start to change a little bit in the winter. Not as many garage sales. Your sourcing opportunities dry up a little bit, or at least it might seem like that. But you know what? There are a lot of places that you can source for selling on eBay. And I just wanted to talk about some of those today. We've been doing some of these I've been calling them reseller 101 type of thing. We have so many new or newer resellers that watch the channel. I want to be sure we get out some stuff for them. I don't want to leave other folks behind. So we've got some new information, I think, here as well. So we got a nice little mix today. And obviously, the first place that you can source during the winter is the thrift store, right? Like everybody's got some kind of thrift store. Goodwill is sort of the ubiquitous one. Like everybody's got a Goodwill, at least in their general area. They've been to one, they've seen one driving down, you know where Goodwill is. But there are also a lot of local places you can find. We have a local thrift here. Then we have the one that I call the little old lady thrift shop. I haven't been out there for like a year. I probably need to. We should do a video out there. Out at the National Guard Fort, there's a thrift store out there. And you never know what you're going to find out there. You've really got to dig through some stuff a little bit because there's just so much stuff in there. But I found some neat stuff out there. So find those little places that people don't necessarily know about. Go maybe outside of town. Go if there's a little town and it's 30 miles away. They've got a little thrift store. Not as many people go there. So you might luck out if you go to some of these smaller places that don't get as much foot traffic. You might find a gem there. So be sure to be hitting thrift stores. The margin is not the same as what you're going to get at garage sales. The return on investment at garage sales, always fantastic if you're doing it right? But you will still certainly make some money. So number one, obvious, thrift stores. Past that, you've got your estate sales. Now, again, your margin might not be as good as the garage sales. I still think garage sale is the best bang for your buck. But estate sales, sometimes you find a little bit higher end stuff. Things are a little bit more curated because often you're picking through somebody's collection. Estate sales are great. Now, some of them that are run by a company, they're trying to get as much out of it as they can, and at the same time get as much money for the family as they can. So you do have to be careful. You have to watch your margins at estate sales. A lot of times they're simply just charging too much for us to make any money, for it to make sense, right? The better luck I think you're going to have is at the family-run estate sale, where they didn't hire out a company, that they're just doing it themselves. They just need the stuff gone. And so very often you can get a much better deal there. You can sort of make a bulk deal, much like at a garage sale. Now, you can get on estate sale mailing lists, and they'll let you know when upcoming sales are. There's also a website, estatesale.net. I don't use that because, we're such a small town. There's only a couple companies, and you see it pop up on Facebook or on Craigslist or whatever. Like you see it. It's hard to not know when there's an estate sale going on here. So I don't use the national website. But if you use that, you can punch in your zip code, and it'll tell you if there are estate sales going on in your area. The other place, I just mentioned it, Facebook. Now, of course, you've got Facebook Marketplace. And if you're a part-timer like me, and you're not, or, even if you're a full-timer and you're not on the computer all the time, very often the great deals are snatched up immediately. I feel like there's people that just live on there, right? And sometimes the people that are posting on there are trying to get high dollar. They're not trying to just clear stuff out very often. They're trying to make money off of it. So sometimes stuff is priced right where it should be, like if they were reselling this on eBay or wherever it might be. Or sometimes it's way too high. But if you keep hunting, every once in a while you're going to find some good stuff on there. But it's not just marketplace. You can find stuff. We've got several local or area Facebook groups. There's a local classified group. There's a local classified uncensored group is what it's called. I think I'm in like 5 groups, 6 groups, something. I don't do Facebook for pretty much anything. I have it so that I can do stuff from the real job, for the day job, right? And then I have it so I can be a part of just a couple of reseller groups, and then for trolling for deals like this, or looking for estate sales, that sort of thing. So look around, do some searching, see if there are any buy-sell trade groups in your area, because sometimes you get better deals on that than you would on Marketplace. Another place that you could check out, Craigslist. I'm bad about checking it. I tend to forget that it's there, but you can find good stuff. People do still sell things on Craigslist. So get on there, kind of scroll through. It doesn't take long. Get on there and scroll through the categories that interest you, that you know about, and see if there's anything on there. And as sort of an added tip, something that I know several resellers do, Dom over at Primetime Treasure Hunter has talked about this. You can post ads on Craigslist. You can basically say, hey, if you've got fill in the blank, I'm a buyer, So he does that with comic books and those sort of things. And he's made deals off of that. So if you've got something in particular that you love to resell, wouldn't be a bad idea to put it on Craigslist and say, hey, if you've got some sort of collection, get a hold of me. If you're trying to get rid of it all at once, I might be interested. Then, of course, you've got your auctions. Typically, they're online auctions. If you're lucky enough, you might have an auction house local to you where they're doing a live local auction. I've been to a couple. Those are a lot of fun. We don't have any here. You can get on online auctions. Hibid, Hibid, that's one that's pretty popular with folks, especially if you live in a more metro area. You're going to have a whole lot of stuff that's pretty close to you, because what happens when you buy this stuff, often you can get a shipping option, but then you're paying more, right? So you want to be able to go drive and pick the stuff up. So it has to be somewhere that's either local or, in your area, in your region, that you're okay driving and picking up this stuff if you win it at the end. ShopGoodwill.com. Kat the Nurse Flipper does fantastic on Shop Goodwill. She's made some huge scores on there, and she does very well on Hibid. If you're interested in learning about how to source from auctions, go check out Kat's channel. She's very good at sourcing online. She is the one that you want to go to for this. I don't do it a whole lot. It's hard. You've got to dig through a lot of stuff because there's a lot of junk, or there's a lot of overpriced stuff. You have to really dig. One thing I did learn from her is you want to look for lots. You want to look for a big bunch of stuff, because that way there's a potential gem hidden in there, and you can also sell multiple things to make up your money. You do have to be careful because you can't really see the item, right? It's not like going to the garage sale, going to the thrift store, going to the estate sale. You can't have it in your hands. You can't turn it around. You can't look for flaws. You can't see the condition of this stuff, depending on the quality of the pictures, right? Sometimes pictures are really good and you get a good idea, but sometimes you're taking a guess and you might get it and it's not as great as you thought it was, and therefore it's not worth as much, and maybe now you spent too much. So if you source at online auctions, be careful. Another way you can source online, and I guess in an auction format, it really is an auction, is on YouTube auctions. Live auctions on YouTube are a great place to source inventory. Again, same rules apply. You got to make sure you know your margins. You got to be careful because, again, you can't see the condition. You have to be able to trust the person that's running the auction as well, because there are some that are going to try and pump up every item, and they're not going to necessarily disclose flaws. Then you find the folks that are very fair and very honest and say, well, you know what? Look, there's a little tear here. There's a little wear here. You want to find those folks, okay? And I can throw one out for you. Mr. Buys a Lot. He's fantastic. You can trust Brian. He has warehouses of stuff. All the people that work with him are very good people. And I've got some fantastic items from Brian through his YouTube auctions. They run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then every once in a while he has something on the weekends or whatever. But get on there, check him out. Tell him that I sent you over there. Maybe I get some bonus points with him for that. But you can trust Brian to be giving you an honest opinion of the stuff that he's selling. And there's a good crowd in there. They're very good people. So go check out Mr. Buys Lot, or if there are others, Donatella Bodolino, T at Auctions for You. There are other places that you can go and get great deals on stuff and work with really good people. One more that I guess I should tack on here is Whatnot. And this is the one I said, maybe some new information for more seasoned resellers. Whatnot is, I don't know that it's new, but it's certainly growing. I know Commonwealth Flipper, Kevin over there, he's sourced some stuff off there. He's talked about it a few times. There are several people that are selling on there. Actually, a viewer of the channel, True Rarities, had an auction just the other night on some vinyl stuff on Whatnot. I actually got on there, bought a few. I'm going to keep a couple, and I think I have enough margin that I'm going to flip a couple. And so it's a cool place to go if you are also a collector of things. You can buy some neat stuff, and then you can also find some things that you can flip. And so I am going to make a little bit of money off of the stuff, I think, that I got off the True Rarities vinyl auction. Thanks for letting me know that was going on. But Whatnot is an app. You download it on the phone, and actually now they have a website as well. You can watch it on the computer, on the laptop. You can check them out online as well. I haven't done that as much. I was tinkering with it the other day, but it's a cool place. You can find anything from vintage clothing to action figures, Funko Pops, that sort of thing, to they have the music, vinyl, that sort of thing. There are retro games. There are all sorts of card breaks and stuff like that on there. There's a ton of stuff on there, and it's all sorted by category. You can look at different people when they're having live auctions, and they pretty much happen all day long. And the way it works is they run, everybody gets to kind of choose how long they do their auctions. Sometimes they're 30 seconds, sometimes they're 20 seconds, right? Sometimes they go a minute. I think a lot of people stick with the 30 seconds. It's sort of like that soft close. If somebody bids, it tacks 10 seconds on. So some of them go obviously longer than 30 seconds. There are some sudden deaths where it's 30 seconds period, and whoever gets that last bid in wins. So there are some variations in Whatnot, but it's a cool app. It's trustworthy. I've been using it for, I think, since November. I wanted to sort of tinker around with it a little bit and buy from several different people on there before I said anything about it. And I think it's good. I've not had any problems with actually getting what I paid for. Actually, the other day, wound up with one item wasn't in my box that I bought. I contacted customer service there at Whatnot, and this is something that I wanted to wait for too, is a potential problem. I shot them an email, and they got back to me that same day and said, hey, let me know exactly what it is that you got and what you didn't get. If you can send some pictures of the stuff you got, I will contact the seller and find out what information I can. So I did that, sent them the information. They contacted the seller and said, hey, guess what? Good news. They said that it is, in fact, still there, this piece that you didn't get. And they apologized. They're sending it out right now. Here's the tracking number. It's fantastic. I also had a piece that arrived broken. There's only been that one buyer, or that one seller, excuse me. There's been the one seller that I bought a fair bit of stuff, and it was just put in a box. There was very little bubble wrap, very little. The box was too big. There was like that much room between the stuff and the top of the box. So, what was happening with that stuff the entire way here. So the stuff that was in boxes got a little bit dinged up. The stuff that was loose, one of them broke. And so I said, hey, I got this piece. It's broken. What do I need to do? And so all I needed, they were very cool. They said, well, send us a picture of it. This is Whatnot, again, the customer support people there. I sent them a picture of it and told them, I think they asked for the order number and that sort of thing. And they said, okay, well, yeah, it's broken, and that's a bummer. What we can do is we can offer you, I think she offered a 30% refund and said, hey, if you'd like to keep it, I can give you a 30% refund, or you can send it back to us and we'll give you a full refund. And so I said, you know what, in the condition it's in, broken, does me no good. So I'm going to send it back. So she sent me a label in my email, printed it out, put it on there, shipped it back got me a refund. It worked really, really well. So I've been through that process a couple of times now of various problems. And so I can vouch for, at least to my experience, the Whatnot customer service has been very good if you have a problem as a buyer getting stuff. So that I think is really, really good. Now, in terms of being a seller, I actually just the other day had a conversation with the lady that's in charge of the action figures, because you have to pick generally when you apply to sell on there, which I've done, you have to sort of pick hey, this is the category that I think I might sell the most in. And so I just kind of picked that. I've been selling a lot of toys lately and figures. So I picked that one. You can sell in all the categories. But she called me. I had a nice conversation with her, about 15-minute chat. Asked about, my experience selling, where I get my stuff, how long I'd like to, how many auctions I'd like to have a week. Just basic stuff. And they're just trying to get to know you. They're sort of, they're just checking. They're making sure that you're legit before they put you on their platform, which I appreciate. And so I've now been verified. I've been okayed. I can go live and I can sell now on Whatnot. So I think she was supposed to send me a code that you can use to register. So I'll check if I got that. And if I did, I'll put it down in the description. I don't honestly know what that gets you, but it's at least a link that gets you over there, and you can sign up. The signing up process is very, very easy, but I would go check it out. Like I said, it's trustworthy. You can get some great stuff. And if I have an auction, I think I'm going to try to plan an auction next week just to see how it goes. I've got some loose figures that I thought, let's maybe try and do that. And I might do it like a vinyl thing because I've got some of those. We'll see how it goes. It's another way if you're a seller also to potentially sell. It's another platform. So go check out Whatnot and let me know what you think. And let me know, I guess, if we got the link underneath there, let me know if that link works and if you're able to sign up for it. I should mention at least a couple other people. This is not an extensive list by any means, but Chris Chernock's Connection, he is on there. Dave, NC Picker, is on there. Jimmy over at Old School Flips, he is on there. American Arbitrage sells on there. There are some good people that are selling on there. So go check it out. And again, let me know what you think. And that's pretty much what I have for you today, guys. We got a garage sale coming up on Monday, a garage sale video. So be sure to check that out. We're also going to be giving something else away at the end of Monday's video. So make sure you check that out. But I wanted to put also the ask out that you read the comments underneath. I try my best to at least read all of the comments, and you guys as a collective group, there's so much information from people that watch these videos. And a lot of times with garage sale videos, it's, hey, you missed this. Hey, this is worth some money. We can't all know everything, and there are experts in all these different areas. So look for that in garage sale videos, because I've learned a lot of stuff from comments of, I didn't miss something, I just didn't know about it. Right? And so by you commenting down below, now I do. And now other people that watch the video know as well. So be sure to read the comments. And I'm going to ask that, you put underneath, where do you source, especially for you more veteran resellers, where do you source in the winter months? Now, I should mention, buy a whole lot of extra stuff in the summer so I can kind of feed off of that through the winter months. So I do still have garage sale buys that I'm listing through the summer, and that's another way to do it. The death pile for me is a good thing because I can't source all year round. So I intentionally build that death pile so like a squirrel, right? I want to make sure that I've got stuff to get through the winter. But in terms of sourcing, where do you source? Leave it underneath if you've got a good place, if you've got a good idea, if I didn't touch on it, and read those, folks. Find out more information underneath. That's what I got for you today, guys. I'm going to let you go. It's cold out here.